All right, Edie, tonight we're talking about the high performer paradox, as we've been discussing on social media. So, just to get the discussion started for all the good people out there, what can we say about the high performer paradox?
To put it simply, people that are high achievers in one aspect of life, in terms of career. So you went to school to become a lawyer, doctor, etc., etc. I mean, you have to burn the midnight oil.
Mm.
In terms of your career, a lot of people go get a higher education to get a good job, be it whatever, and the goal is to step up in that ladder. What happens now is a lot of times something is left behind. Most times that's your health. Now, when you start having a family, then you have a family to take care of, and sometimes that takes a backseat as well,
Mm.
which is not really what you want. So, I mean, that is my kind of definition. Yeah.
For me, like I think that it boils down to this: you have a finite resource, which is time and energy, and the more you put into one bucket, and the more you have to, the less you have to put into other things. So, to your point, what you wind up finding is that, hey, I've dedicated all my resources to this, and I have almost little to nothing left over for this, which might be your health or whatever other goals that you want to work on that you think are a secondary, that wind up taking a secondary value to what you're putting all your effort into.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah, and we see that a lot, and I mean that's where we come in.
Yeah, and this is where we need to come in as coaches, because if people are left to their own devices and they don't have like a friend, whether they're a life coach or a fitness coach, to say, hey, this is falling by the wayside, the fact is that you could just keep compounding these habits until you hit a breakdown, until you crash into a wall.
Yeah, physically and mentally and emotionally.
Yeah. I mean, look, to speak from personal experience, my brother, as you know, he got his PhD a few years ago, and it was a very, very long road for him. But on the road to doing it, everything went into the PhD. Forget sleep, forget fitness, forget healthy eating. It all went into the PhD. And he was stressed out of his mind. He was the first one to say that he feels like, his health was definitely, he didn't hit a wall per se, but he felt like he wasn't far from it. And at the end of it, after he got his PhD, he's very happy he got it. It's facilitated his career, but he said, I almost resent it a little bit, and it speaks to how much everything else was put to the side in the pursuit of this. So, performing at a very high level to achieve this thing, degree in chemical engineering, like everything else fell by the wayside. And then not only did he feel like crap and everything in his life became secondary, but he wound up resentful of his achievement as a result.
I mean, and maybe he could have done it a little different, but somebody, I mean, going for a PhD in mechanical engineering, you definitely have to put it all out there. I mean, hopefully you don't go crazy and lose it, but definitely it will take a lot. And hopefully, I mean, luckily, I mean, he enjoyed it. If he didn't enjoy it, it would be a different story.
But to your point about like where we come in, like imagine if you have a friend in your corner, a coach, to say, hey, I know you have this like insurmountable thing, or you have this goal you need to achieve, but hey, let's compartmentalize, let's schedule it out on the calendar, let's make time to cook, eat healthier meals, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, maybe get in the gym. And I think this is where truly high performers, are the most motivated people that we see and work with, kind of hit a wall, because it's like this tunnel vision that prevents you from seeing the pitfalls around you, because I have to get this thing, I have to achieve it. And it's an admirable mentality where, like, you're determined and you're not going to give up on the goal, but almost stubbornly so, to the point where,
Well, I mean, usually it manifests itself in you just burning out, mainly physically. And I mean, you go to the doctor and you get that scare. It's like, okay, well, they give you a stress test, or you have this minor heart attack or whatever. And it's like, oh my goodness.
yeah.
And the doctor starts telling you, well, I think, I mean, you have been really overdoing it. And sometimes, most times, the simple answer is stress. I mean, you're just too stressed. I mean, you have to calm down. You at this age, okay, so now you have to start building a little muscle, or no, at minimum, let's maintain the muscle you have, because you're not getting any younger. So most times it manifests itself in just getting injured.
I mean, there's something to be said about like trying to maintain some kind of balance in your life too. You know, if you're for or against that kind of mentality,
No,
look,
no, no. I mean, I definitely earlier on in your career. I mean, I think, I mean, balance. There's not really balance, especially if you want to achieve, you want to get to a certain place. When you want to study, like you have to pretty much don't go to any parties, don't drink. I mean, you're just studying like 24 hours a day. Maybe you should take a break for the most part. There's no balance in any of that. When you get to a certain level, especially when your body can't necessarily recover from all that stress. That is where I see the balance coming in.
right. Well, look, I think specifically in the context of like high performance, right? So I'm asking myself, or I'm asking somebody to perform at a very, very high level, right? And it's unsustainable without some kind of balance or some kind of recovery, a metric. There's a lot of output, but where's the input? And, you know, look, I talked about my brother. Output, 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 no input, and you know, you end up running on fumes. So I guess that's what I mean by balance, that you have to, and I know this from personal experience as well. Look, how many times have you known me to say, hey, I'm gonna deadlift a new max, I'm gonna overhead press a new max, push, 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 push,
I
push.
mean, yeah,
I'm gonna overhead press every day.
10 years ago you would do that. Yeah.
Right,
And then what happened? You got injured.
right. But not only that, look, and I think I've spoken about this before, but you know, even psychologically, it takes a toll on you. You end up resenting what you're doing. I understand where my brother's coming from. Dude, there was a point I hated overhead pressing, right? Because I just associated with stress, like this constant need to get, you know.
Stress and pain. Every time you press overhead,
Yeah.
you feel that pain. Yep.
So I think that, you know, if you are, my call to action for a very high performing person would be, hey, look, you know, you can keep your eye on the prize, but have a strategy to get there. Whether, you know, whatever, it's in the boardroom, whether it's in the gym, like don't throw everything at this, because it might wind up taking more out of you, or it's going to take everything out of you. You have to give back to yourself a little bit too. Specific to what we do as coaches, like, dude, I know you want to lift. I know it's heavy all the time. It's a very gratifying feeling, but take care of yourself too. Sharpen your tools, you know, do a little bit of mobility, prime your movements, optimize them. Just get off the highway and cruise a little bit so you can get back on.
I mean, I had a client this morning. I trained him, and I have been training him for like 10 years or so. In his earlier years, I mean, he was go, 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 go. But in that go, 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 he always tend to get injured. I mean, he's that client that always is like, okay, well, when are we going up? When are we going up? I mean, you would know that kind of client. And he just kept getting injured. So this morning, we hadn't trained for a little while. And this morning, we trained, and he's like, yeah, man, like that just feels like the good old days. It's like, yeah, I mean, I had to build you up, because if it was up to him, he would want to start where he left off, you know, a couple of years ago. But we started slowly. I slowly build him up, and then this morning he was like, yeah, that kind of feels like the good old days. And the last thing he told me before I left is like, so when I had him doing just dumbbell bench, not any barbell, because you don't necessarily need to use a bar. But it's like, yeah, so when you think we're gonna start using the bar again? It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we kind of there. So the next week we're gonna start at this, because you could see now he's getting the itch. And that is where we come in, because most times we have to save our
People
clients
from themselves.
from themselves. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I've
Yeah.
been there too. So one of my star students is kind of like this, where they wanted to always push, very, very, very motivated to always push to the next level. And for years, I was in this person's ear saying, hey, look, I get this 100%, but we can't train like this. If you want to make consistent progress, you want to make small steps, and you want to stop when there's a potential setback, as opposed to pushing through. And this is somebody that operates at a very, very high level in their career. So you apply that same mentality, just this whole high performer paradox, to what you do in the gym. And I love it and I respect it. It took a few years, but finally this person has seen the light. And you know, now I get text messages you'd be so proud of me. I took a recovery day. I did mobility today.
So, what made him see the light?
I think me just being a pain in their ear as a coach,
Right.
me saying, we can't do this. Hey, I love it. I love the motivation. I love the gusto, but we cannot do this.
But had he ever gotten injured trying to?
There'd been
always go
some
heavy?
injuries here and
Right.
nothing egregious, but definitely some signs, some stop signs, right? Which as coaches we know we've gone through the injuries ourselves, so when they present themselves on other people, or when you see progress stalling and you're going to hit this point of injury or setback or burnout, we got to stop here. We can't go any further.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we teach them that progress is not linear. I mean, because if progress
No.
was linear, I mean, you'd be the strongest man
Yeah,
in the
you'd
history of the
PR
world.
every week.
If you wanted to, lift weights to get big, you'd be the biggest person in the history of the world. I mean, progress is like a roller coaster. I mean, there's ups, downs. I mean, you'll stall one place for a little bit, then you'll make, especially if you have experience, it'll take you way longer to get to that next step. But how you get to that next step is with consistency.
You know something? It just hit me right now with the high performer paradox. I think that the best way to caution against it, whatever level you're performing at, is don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yes, and another thing I like telling my students is we only want to get 1% better.
Yeah.
1% better. I mean, we are not going, okay, well, we're training for a certain thing and then we're going to stop. I mean, we are training for life. So all you have to remember is 1% better every day. That's it. And we're going to be at 100% when we're dead.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that. Look, you know what? For the people that fall into the high performer paradox, that have this tunnel vision, that want to push, and that aren't aware of the consequences or potential consequences that come from it, how I would redirect is this. Look, if you're trying to get to the top level of what you can do, whatever it is, you have to be smart about it. Willpower is great, but it'll only take you so far if you don't have a strategy. For me, and I know this through firsthand experience, I value strategy and a little bit of restraint far more than I value this all-out approach now. And look, we were in the gym, and there was this guy in the gym when we were filming, and he was just trying to brute force a 315-pound bench press.
Is that our guy?
That's our guy. He wanted to brute force a 315-pound bench press. And look, you can certainly get away with it in the meantime, big guy, strong guy. So, what I would say is this, and this is what I said at the time too. Hey, look, it's great that you're this strong, but let's scale back and let's really hone our skill, because the better you are at this skill, the more strategic you are and in tune you are with what you're doing, the quicker you're going to move up and the less likely you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, luckily you were there and you could tell him that, but a lot of people, they don't have any direction and they just tend to just go too fast, too quick.
Truly, no, look, the call to action to all the high performers out there is put more emphasis on the what and how you do it as opposed to how much. Don't quantify it, qualify it, right? That sounds kind of like a throwaway phrase, but truly put an emphasis on your skill, because that's what's going to keep you moving forward. If you have the restraint to just kind of dial back, work on your skill, and optimize recovery when output is a little higher. We talked about how progress is not linear. You'll keep doing this, right, in this zigzag manner, as opposed to push, boom.
I mean,
big setback.
I mean, to make it simple, just the 1% rule. Every day, 1%. I mean, some days you can go 3%, but for the most part, you want to be a steady 1%. Just keep that mindset, and then you will continually improve.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, that's it for us today. Thanks for hanging with us. If you made it this far, we'll see you guys next week on a new topic on performance.
Yeah, sorry, it was a long one today.
We were enthusiastic about it. We hope that, you enjoyed it as well.
All right, guys. See you next time.